homeless boy invented Louis Vuitton, the untold story behind the world's most powerful luxury brand. The name Louis Vuitton is now synonymous with luxury, elegance, and exclusivity. A monogram that sits comfortably on the arms of royalty, celebrities, and billionaires alike. Few realize that the man behind this empire was not born into wealth, nor was he ever handed a silver spoon. In fact, Louis Vuitton was once a homeless boy, walking nearly 300 miles on foot to escape poverty, driven only by determination and survival instinct. This video unveils the incredible origin story of the Louis Vuitton brand. Not the glamorous tale polished for marketing, but the real journey of a poor orphan who changed fashion forever. From living on the streets to founding a global empire worth over $500 billion today, this story is a testament to grit, vision, and pure willpower. Born into misery, a childhood of hardship, Louis Vuitton was born on August 4, 1821, in Untold, a small mountainous village in eastern France. His father was a farmer and carpenter, and life was anything but luxurious. At the age of 10, he lost his mother, and shortly after, his father remarried, creating a household atmosphere that young Louis couldn't tolerate. With no emotional support, no real future, and barely enough food, Louis made a bold decision. At just 13 years old, he would run away from home and walk nearly 300 miles to Paris on foot. He had no plan, no money, and no one waiting for him. But he had one thing: a relentless desire to build a life of purpose. He wasn't just escaping poverty, he was escaping a future with no meaning. The loss of his mother and a cold stepmother pushed him out the door, but his dreams pulled him forward. In a world where survival was rare for kids like him, Louis chased possibility, not guarantees. The long walk to Paris, survival before success. This wasn't just a journey, it was a transformation. Louis walked for over 2 years, taking odd jobs along the way to survive. He slept in barns, worked for food, and learned to fix things with his hands. It was during this time that he became acquainted with manual craftsmanship, a skill that would later define his legacy. When he finally arrived in Paris at the age of 16, the city was in the midst of an industrial boom. But for a homeless boy with no connections, opportunities were scarce. He began working as an apprentice for a successful trunk maker named Monsieur Marchal, where he swept floors and ran errands, and slowly learned the craft of box making. This phase taught him more than just craft. It taught him discipline, humility, and attention to detail. Working silently in the background, he absorbed techniques like a sponge. He learned how precision creates beauty and how patience shapes mastery. These early lessons would form the soul of every Vuitton product. A revolutionary idea, reinventing the travel trunk. At the time, travel trunks were bulky and round-topped to repel water, but they were hard to stack and impractical for growing travel needs. Louis observed how unnecessarily complex the existing designs were. With his growing skills, he dared to reimagine the trunk. Flat-topped, stackable, lightweight, and waterproof. By 1854, at the age of 33, he opened his own workshop in Paris. His flat-top trunk, made from gray Trianon canvas, was a breakthrough in travel design. It was revolutionary in form and unmatched in functionality, and travelers took notice. The real genius was that Vuitton didn't just make trunks, he made solutions. He engineered trunks that suited modern lifestyles, anticipating needs that others ignored. This was innovation rooted in empathy. He wasn't designing for royalty, he was designing for real travelers who valued form, utility, and sophistication. Earning royal favor, becoming the trunk maker of Empress Eugénie Louis' turning point, came when he was appointed as the personal trunk maker to Empress Eugénie, the wife of Napoleon III. This was more than just a contract, it was a royal endorsement. With this, his name gained prestige in aristocratic circles, and soon the elite of Europe began ordering custom travel trunks bearing the Vuitton mark. But Louis wasn't content with luxury alone. He understood the importance of identity, brand integrity, and quality assurance. That's why, even during times of war and crisis, he refused to compromise on craftsmanship. His trunks were not just products, they were symbols of status and excellence. Working for the Empress wasn't luck, it was the result of years of tireless refinement. His name became associated with reliability and refinement. With every order he delivered, he quietly rewrote the definition of luxury, one that focused on quality over glitter, on longevity over trend. The brand takes shape, innovation, imitation, and identity. As his trunks became wildly popular, counterfeits began to emerge. The Louis Vuitton brand was being imitated even before it became a global fashion label. To protect his brand identity, Louis introduced the damier canvas pattern in 1888 with a clear logo that read Marque L. Vuitton Déposé, French for L. Vuitton trademark registered. This wasn't just branding, it was war. Vuitton was creating the blueprint for intellectual property in fashion decades before most luxury brands even existed. He was building not just a product, but a protected legacy. By protecting his designs, Vuitton also protected the values behind them: precision, quality, and exclusivity. He knew that luxury couldn't exist without authenticity. These strategic moves ensured that the name Louis Vuitton would mean something genuine, not just aesthetically, but legally and philosophically. A family legacy, Georges Vuitton and the global vision. Louis Vuitton died in 1892, but his son Georges Vuitton took the reins and pushed the brand even further. He introduced the now iconic LV monogram in 1896, a pattern so distinctive that it became one of the most recognized logos in the world. Georges also expanded internationally, opening the first Louis Vuitton store in London and later in New York. Under his leadership, Vuitton became a truly global brand, worn by the world's wealthiest, admired by artists, and respected by royalty. Georges wasn't just preserving his father's work, he was evolving it. He saw the future of travel and fashion intersecting, and he made Vuitton the brand that embodied that fusion. He invested in legacy, in scale, and in vision, ensuring Vuitton wouldn't just survive, it would lead, dominating modern luxury, from trunks to timeless fashion. Fast forward to the 20th and 21st centuries, Louis Vuitton went far beyond travel trunks. Under the leadership of Bernard Arnault and the LVMH group, the brand became the most powerful luxury fashion house in the world, collaborating with artists, launching fashion lines, and dominating the accessories industry. LV's handbags, luggage, shoes, perfumes, and watches now generate billions each year. And yet the spirit of craftsmanship and innovation that Louis started in a dusty workshop still lives in every stitch. Their success isn't only in design, it's in how they make people feel. Louis Vuitton mastered not just products, but the emotion behind ownership. Every collection tells a story. Every campaign blends culture with commerce. Vuitton became a movement, not just a label. The value of the brand. Today, as of today, Louis Vuitton is the most valuable luxury brand in the world, worth over $500 billion. Its presence spans over 50 countries, with flagship stores in every major fashion capital, from red carpets to runways, from royalty to influencers. The LV monogram is instantly recognized and eternally desired. What makes this even more powerful is the contrast. This empire wasn't built by aristocrats or tycoons. It was born from poverty, pain, and persistence. The brand's real value lies beyond financials. It represents possibility. It reminds the world that elegance can come from hardship and that precision and perseverance can outperform privilege. Vuitton isn't just a name, it's a legacy born in hunger and built with unmatched vision. The story of Louis Vuitton isn't just about fashion. It's about what's possible when someone refuses to accept the life they were handed. A 13-year-old boy, homeless and alone, reshaped luxury for generations. If this story moved you, imagine how many others are untold. Stories of resilience, grit, and genius buried in hardship. Let this tale be a reminder. Luxury isn't always born in palaces. Sometimes it begins with hunger. If you enjoyed this journey into the origin of the world's most powerful luxury brand, like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more powerful stories that dig deeper than the headlines.